Imagine you desperately need help one day, but no one answers your call. What if you find yourself in an emergency with no one aware to come to your aid? This is not just a far-fetched scenario, but a reality that millions of elderly people face every day. While some enjoy the independence of living alone, many also encounter potential risks. According to statistics, over 27% of older adults live alone, which comes with safety hazards, unforeseen emergencies, and, most notably, prolonged loneliness that severely affects both physical and mental health. How can you live safely and independently even when no one is around? This is a crucial question not only for the elderly, but also for their families and loved ones. If you or someone you care about lives alone in their later years, the 5 important steps we are about to share can make a significant difference. These solutions help prevent risks and bring peace of mind to you and your loved ones. So, stay with us until the end of this video, because the information we are about to share could change the way you think about independent living after 60. Richard, a 78-year-old man and former high school teacher, has lived alone in his small suburban home since his wife passed away 5 years ago. He enjoys his independent lifestyle, maintaining his routine of grocery shopping, cooking, reading, and tending to the small garden behind his house. For Richard, independence is a habit and a source of pride. However, as he grows older, he becomes increasingly aware of the risks he might face at any moment. Lately, his worries have grown. What if one day he slips in the bathroom and is unable to get up? What if a scammer posing as a service worker comes to his house with bad intentions? And what if he falls seriously ill with no one around to know or help? These concerns are not unique to Richard. Many elderly individuals living alone experience the same fears. However, instead of letting them become overwhelming anxieties, Richard has taken proactive steps to ensure his safety. What he has done is neither complicated nor costly, yet it can make a significant difference. Today, we will share with you 5 essential ways to protect yourself while living alone. Practical measures that anyone can apply to live more safely and confidently every day. Before we dive into specific tips, help others access this valuable information by liking the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click the subscribe button now so you won't miss any useful tips on how to enjoy a healthy and safe life after 60. Before exploring solutions to help seniors live safely on their own, we first need to recognize the major risks they may face. Living alone offers freedom and independence, but also comes with potential dangers many may not anticipate. These risks stem not only from the surrounding environment, but also from changes in health and the body's ability to respond as aging progresses. 1. Potential health risks. Imagine an ordinary morning like any other. Richard, a 76-year-old retired teacher, wakes up slightly dizzy. He assumes it's just due to a restless night or low blood pressure, so he doesn't think much of it. However, a few hours later, as he stands up to pour himself a glass of water, he suddenly feels numbness in his arm. His speech becomes slurred, and his hand is no longer as steady as before. As he reaches for his phone to call a family member, he realizes he can no longer control his body as usual. This is how a stroke happens: sudden, silent, and if not treated in time, potentially devastating or even fatal. It's not just strokes. Other sudden health issues, such as heart attacks, respiratory failure, or hypoglycemia, also pose serious threats to elderly individuals living alone. A heart attack, for example, may not always come with clear warning signs. It might start as mild chest discomfort and quickly escalate into a life-threatening emergency. If no one is around to recognize the symptoms and call for help, the chances of survival decrease significantly. In addition to underlying health issues, household accidents are among the greatest risks that elderly individuals face daily. According to statistics, 1 in 4 people over 65 falls each year, which increases significantly for those over 75. For those living alone, the consequences can be even more severe. A slip in the bathroom, on a wet floor, a misstep on the stairs, or simply tripping over a rug can lead to serious injuries such as hip fractures or head trauma. If no one finds them in time, lying immobilized for hours or even days can increase the risk of infection, dehydration, and physical deterioration. Second, security and financial risks. Living alone not only increases health risks for the elderly, but also makes them prime targets for scammers and criminals. One afternoon, Richard received a call from someone claiming to be a bank representative, informing him that his account had suspicious activity and needed immediate verification of his personal information. Fortunately, Richard had heard about such scams before and quickly hung up. But not everyone is so lucky. Many elderly individuals, unfamiliar with modern technology or sophisticated scams, fall victim to fraudsters and lose thousands of dollars in just one phone call. Phone scams are just one of many threats. Home security is another serious concern. Burglars often target houses with little activity, such as lights left off in the evening or a lack of regular visitors. An old lock, an unsecured door, or a window accidentally left open at night can become an easy entry point for intruders. When living alone, elderly individuals have no one to assist them in emergencies, making them more vulnerable than ever. 3. Loneliness and psychological impact. One of the most silent yet dangerous risks for elderly individuals living alone is prolonged loneliness. In the past, Richard and his wife used to have dinner together, talk about their day, and enjoy peaceful moments over a warm cup of tea. But since his wife passed away, his meals have become quieter, conversations have become scarce, and the house no longer echoes with laughter. At first, he thought he just needed time to adjust, but as the days went by in overwhelming silence, he started feeling exhausted, losing motivation for the things he once loved. Sometimes, he forgot simple tasks like watering his plants or checking the mail. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness not only affects mental well-being, but also has serious consequences on physical health. Elderly individuals with little social interaction are at a higher risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, memory decline, and even Alzheimer's disease. Depression and anxiety are also more common among those living alone without a strong support network of family and friends. Just as the body needs exercise to stay healthy, the human brain requires stimulation through social interaction. When meaningful connections with the outside world are lost, both mental and physical health can deteriorate at a much faster rate. 4. Awareness for self-protection. Recognizing the risks of living alone does not mean giving up independence. Instead, it allows us to take proactive steps to protect ourselves, from improving our living environment and preparing for emergencies to maintaining social connections. The next section will explore essential steps to help elderly individuals live alone more safely, stay healthier, and feel less lonely. Let's move on to the most important part: 5 ways to stay safe while living alone. Tip 1. Strengthening home security. A simple yet effective measure. Safety begins right at home. When living alone, your house is not just a place to reside. It is also your primary defense against external risks. Richard decided to upgrade his home security system after hearing about a burglary in his neighborhood to ensure his safety. First, he replaced his old locks with a smart lock featuring a passcode and fingerprint recognition. This significantly reduced the risk of burglars breaking in and eliminated concerns about losing keys or forgetting to lock the door when going out. Next, he installed motion sensor lights around his front yard and hallway, detecting movement at night. This not only deters intruders, but also prevents unexpected visits from stray animals. Additionally, Richard installed a video doorbell connected to his smartphone. With this device, he can see who is at the door without opening it. This is particularly useful when dealing with strangers, such as delivery personnel, door-to-door salespeople, or potential scammers posing as service workers. If anything seems suspicious, he can refuse to answer the door and even alert his neighbors or the authorities if necessary. Aside from technological upgrades, Richard also follows simple but effective habits. He always ensures that windows are securely locked at night and avoids hiding spare keys in predictable places like under a doormat or inside a flower pot. Most importantly, he maintains good relationships with his neighbors so that if anything unusual happens, they can step in to help. Tip 2. Staying socially connected, the key to a happy and healthy life. One of the biggest challenges of living alone is physical safety and loneliness. Humans are social beings, and at any age, we need connections with others to maintain mental well-being and overall health. Acknowledging this, Richard decided he would not let himself become isolated. Instead of spending his days alone with just the television as a company, he sought ways to expand his social interactions. After some thought, Richard joined a local woodworking club. Though he was a teacher by profession, woodworking had always been a passion he never had much time to pursue. Now, with more free time, he could enjoy the meticulous craft while meeting others who shared his interests. Every week, he visited the club's workshop, where he and his new friend crafted furniture, exchanged techniques, and shared life stories. This brought him joy and gave him a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that he was creating valuable handmade pieces for himself and his family. Beyond that, Richard also joined a book club at the local library, where he could discuss his favorite books, hear new perspectives, and expand his knowledge. On weekends, he often stopped by the park, where other elderly individuals gathered for walks or morning exercises. Even simple conversations and friendly greetings helped him feel like an active part of the community, rather than someone forgotten or isolated. Research has shown that maintaining social relationships significantly reduces the risk of depression, memory loss, and other health issues in older adults. Additionally, having a network of friends and acquaintances gave Richard peace of mind. He knew that if anything ever happened, there would always be someone to help. Staying socially connected doesn't require grand activities or long trips. It's simply about finding ways to engage with others in everyday life. Whether joining a club, chatting with neighbors, or keeping in touch with family through regular phone calls, these small efforts can make a significant difference. They help seniors live happier, healthier, and more fulfilling lives, without the loneliness that often accompanies living alone. Tip 3. Always have an emergency plan. Preparation can save your life. No one ever wants to face an emergency, but being prepared can make the difference between safety and danger when living alone. Unexpected incidents such as falls, strokes, or heart attacks can happen at any time, and without proper precautions, the consequences can be severe. Understanding this, Richard created a detailed emergency plan to ensure he could receive timely assistance. First, he listed essential phone numbers, including his son, trusted neighbors, family doctor, and local emergency services. He placed this list on his refrigerator, one of the most visible spots in his home, so that anyone who entered could easily find it in case of an emergency. He also kept a copy in his bedroom and a small version in his wallet for quick access when outside. Beyond that, Richard set up an ICE, in case of emergency, contact on his mobile phone. This ensures that if he is ever in a situation where he cannot communicate, medical personnel or a kind passerby can quickly reach out to his emergency contacts. He also enabled a quick dial emergency call feature, allowing him to contact family members or medical services with just one press of a button. Richard realized he might not always have his phone, so he invested in a wearable medical alert device. This small, lightweight bracelet has an emergency button that, when pressed, immediately sends a distress signal to a support center or pre-selected contacts. This device is particularly useful when he is alone at night or in high-risk areas, such as the bathroom, where falls are more likely to occur. In addition to these measures, Richard also developed a plan for power outages and natural disasters. He prepared an emergency kit with a flashlight, backup batteries, drinking water, and non-perishable food to ensure he could manage unexpected situations. With all these preparations, Richard felt much more at ease living alone. He no longer worried about being left helpless for hours in case of an accident. And his children also had peace of mind, knowing he had taken the necessary safety precautions. Having an emergency plan is not just about reacting to risks. It's about proactively ensuring safety and peace of mind. By taking these steps, elderly individuals can enjoy independence while feeling confident and secure daily. Tip 4. Establish a daily check-in system. Peace of mind through simple connections. When living alone, the biggest fear isn't just accidents or emergencies. It's the possibility that no one will know if something happens. A single fall in the bathroom, a stroke in the middle of the night, or a sudden health crisis can become life-threatening if not detected in time. Understanding this, Richard decided to set up a daily check-in system to ensure that someone would always be aware and ready to act if anything went wrong. Instead of waiting for someone to randomly check in on him, Richard took a proactive approach with a simple yet effective routine. Right after waking up every morning, he sent a short message to his close neighbor, Joe, with something like, "Good morning," or "What a beautiful day." If everything was fine, Joe would reply with a friendly greeting, and they would go on with their day. However, if Joe didn't receive a message from Richard by a certain time, he would immediately call to check in. If there was still no response, Joe would go to Richard's house to ensure everything was okay. Richard also extended this system to his daughter, who lived in another city. They agreed that Richard would send her a simple message, or even an emoji each evening before bed to indicate that everything was fine. If she didn't receive anything, she would call right away, and if he still didn't answer, she would ask a neighbor or even contact local authorities to check on him. Beyond messaging, Richard joined a small group of other seniors in his neighborhood who also lived alone. They created a group chat where each person would send a quick message or emoji in the morning to confirm they were safe. This system provided security and fostered a sense of community, reassuring everyone that someone was looking out for them. These daily check-ins require little time or effort, yet they offer immense safety and peace of mind. They ensure that if an emergency occurs, help can arrive quickly, and they also reinforce a sense of connection, reminding Richard that even though he lives alone, he is never truly alone. By taking this proactive step, he gained confidence in his independence, while easing the worries of his family and friends caring about his well-being. Tip 5. Preventing falls. A small step toward long-term health. For seniors, a fall is not just a minor accident. It can lead to severe consequences, including loss of independent mobility. Statistics show that 1 in 4 people over 65 falls each year, and some cases result in hip fractures, head injuries, or extended hospital stays. Richard was well aware of this risk, especially after hearing about a friend who slipped in the bathroom and took months to recover. He did not want to find himself in a similar situation, so he took proactive steps to minimize fall risks in his home. The first thing Richard did was thoroughly inspect his home and identify potential hazards that he had previously overlooked. He installed sturdy grab bars in the bathroom, particularly near the bathtub and toilet, providing extra support when stepping in or standing up and reducing the risk of losing balance. To make the bathroom even safer, he replaced slippery bath mats with non-slip ones, ensuring he could move around without worry, even when the floor was wet. He then focused on improving the lighting throughout his home. In the past, he had difficulty seeing clearly at night, especially in hallways and staircases. To address this, he replaced dim light bulbs with bright LED lights, making it easier to navigate in the dark. To further enhance safety, he installed motion sensor lights that automatically turned on when he walked by, eliminating the need to search for a light switch. Richard also took steps to minimize clutter and remove unnecessary obstacles. He removed small rugs and loose electrical cords, which could easily cause tripping. He rearranged his furniture to create clear, unobstructed walking paths, ensuring no misplaced chairs or tables were blocking his way. Beyond adjusting to his living environment, Richard also strengthened his balance and mobility. Aware that stability tends to decline with age, he joined a gentle exercise class designed for seniors. There, he practiced movements that helped improve coordination and reaction time. He also performed simple exercises at home, such as standing on one foot, sidestepping, and repeatedly sitting and standing up. These exercises made him feel more confident while walking and contributed to long-term joint and bone health. By taking these proactive steps, Richard significantly reduced his risk of falling at home. He moves more confidently, knowing his environment is safer and his body is better prepared. Fall prevention is not just about avoiding accidents. It is about maintaining independence, mobility, and quality of life for as long as possible. Through small adjustments and consistent exercise, seniors like Richard can continue living safely and comfortably in their homes. Thanks to these changes, Richard feels more at ease moving around his home without worrying about the risk of falling. More importantly, he understands that taking proactive measures today will help him maintain his independence in the long run, preventing him from becoming reliant on others due to an unfortunate accident. Small adjustments can make a significant difference in the future, allowing him to continue enjoying life safely and confidently every day. Richard no longer lets anxious thoughts weigh him down. He often asked himself in the past, "What if I fall and no one finds out? What if I get scammed? What if I need help one day, but no one is there?" But now, he has answers to all those concerns. With careful preparation, he knows he has done everything possible to protect himself, maintain his independence, and, most importantly, live each day with peace of mind and confidence. What about you? Have you taken any steps to ensure your safety or that of a loved one living alone? It could be a simple habit, a useful device, or a reliable support network of friends and family ready to help when needed. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your advice might help someone looking for ways to live more safely and independently. If you found this video helpful, don't hesitate to share it with your loved ones. A small action can make a big difference in someone's life. Let's spread this important information together so more seniors can live safely, happily, and without loneliness.